Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Essie and I'm a counseling psychologist. I'm so excited sana to have started this journey. Yeah, it has not been easy. Imekuwa ka hustle yeah, but I'm glad I'm finally behind the camera. Ama ni mbele ya camera. Yeah. The world is changing. Everything is becoming online here, and you have to adapt, because if you don't adapt, utaachwa nyuma. And the reason that I am here is to motivate you, encourage you, and also increase your mental health well-being. Yeah, we have to take care of the mind, because I say healthy life, healthy mind, or healthy mind, healthy life. So guys, I'm just going to go straight to my first episode where I'll be talking about anxiety. And why anxiety is my first topic, because I believe anxiety has to do with fear. Basically, anxiety is fear, and new beginnings come with fear. Yeah, opening this YouTube channel ilikuwa na fears zake. Yeah, every human being knows that doing something for the first time or making a decision that you are not fully familiar with has its fears. Uko like, hii kitu ita work ama ita work, am I sure I'm doing the right decision, ama niache ama nigoje, you know, those things fear projects. And sometimes the conscious mind tries to tell us that, you know what, you are doing this because you have not thought this logically, you have not, you know, thought this well, you have not done, no. Consciousness inatakanga surety. Our conscious part wants to put you in a place where you have to understand how something will end. You have to understand how something will look like. You know, that is our conscious part. It wants you to be very real as you can. But you see, in life, there are decisions that you just don't have to know how it will look, how it will end, how it will start. You just have to do it. You understand? And now that is where I'm coming to my second point of adaptive consciousness. The human mind has three parts, basically, normally subconscious, consciousness, and conscious. But with the recent psychology, there is this part that we are calling adaptive consciousness. What is adaptive consciousness? For example, ukiwa kwa shida ama ukiwa kwa danger, you don't have time to scream. Probably it's something wezi nini you scream. Kumbuka hujafikiria ku scream. How did your mind think about that? Do you ever sit down and question, mbona hiyo consciousness haizi kukubali you scream? Consciousness will be like, pigia 911 ama ufanye hivi ama ujifiche pale. That is consciousness. But there is this adaptive consciousness. It is conscious, it has just adapted to the situation. So it's like scream, and the moment you scream, neighbors hear and they come and help you. You understand? Ama you're in a building and you're like, manze kitu nenda chini, so it's like jump. Normally, in your right senses, in your consciousness, huwezi ruka, hata unanga hiyo nguvu ya kuruka, utatoa wapi? But your adaptive consciousness knows that you can do it. So adaptive consciousness is basically the first 2 seconds of your thinking. And why have I raised this up? Because I believe in dealing with fears, this is one thing that we should really embrace, your adaptive consciousness when you are dealing with your fears. If you have fear of water, I'm sure when you ask most people that have fears, they usually want to be doing that thing, but they have the fear. You see, I want to be able to swim, but I fear water, so swimming is a no-go zone. But if you listen to your adaptive, you see, to jump, imagine you will not drown. But if you use your consciousness, it will tell you, unajua unakuanga na hii uoga, unakuanga na hii fear, una jump or drown. What are you doing? Have you thought about this? Surely, are you sure you are capable? You know, have you evaluated? That is your consciousness speaking. But adaptive consciousness ni ile unaingia na unajipata imesonga. Ni kama venye nimeexplainia, yeah. You are screaming, you are jumping things that you didn't know you can jump. You are running, manze unafuatwa. So hata unashangaa hiyo mbio umetoka wapi? It's your adaptive consciousness. So that's one way that you can really try to practice when you're dealing with fears. You know, munaingia kwa elevator, you have claustrophobic, you're like, get in. You don't have to kuchoka na stairs, get in. You get in and the elevator comes down. You're like, use your adaptive consciousness. But the moment utatumia consciousness, utaingia kwa ile elevator, you'll be sweating, you'll having this, no, all that. But this adaptive consciousness mostly works with fears that are not chronic. like see chronic fears and anxieties, but now we have a chronic anxiety, very concrete fear of something. For this, you can apply adaptive consciousness, but you really have to do extra than that. And what is that? Probably you can join therapy. I know most people don't know how therapy works. And don't worry, we'll be here to converse about how therapy works in different situations. And is therapy really going to sit down and telling someone your problems, blah, 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 all that? No. We'll be going to clarify importance of therapy and how does therapy work, how does it enhance your mental well-being, because I believe people in our country, or I don't know, Africans, they are into its treatment if it involves medicine. Like kama hakuna dawa ama nini, hiyo si treatment, hiyo ni mshiriki unaenda kupigana msee ama msee anaenda kukupa advice. But no, it's not, because if then it was advice, we'll go and do guidance and counseling. But we have psychologists where we study your mind. Remember, we just study the mind in general. We understand how the mind works, how behaviors works, how things. So the moment you have a problem, we are able to understand the right treatment to give you. Long story short, let's go to anxiety. So when you go to anxiety, you just to give you one tip of something that happens in anxiety in a counseling room. When a client comes with anxiety and probably they fear water, we can use a treatment whereby there are very many treatments. So you just have to know your client and what will work best. So for example, you can take the client, try to imagine the least threatening form of that fear. What do I mean? If you have fear of in a place of enclosed place, you can imagine yourself in a room where you are in a room with a window and a door open. Then slowly we get where we have closed the door. It's just an imagination in your head. Slowly we imagine where you have the window closed, and we go this until you imagine yourself in that elevator with no window, no door, and you get to see how your body reacts, why it reacts, and what can you do about it. So guys, if you have chronic anxiety, it's good to go for therapy. Also, it's good as a human being to know what you fear, to understand why do you fear it, because you can never go for treatment if you don't know the problem, you see. So you have to know, why do I fear? If you don't know therapy, you'll get someone to help you work with you from your childhood to be able to understand, because I've said these fears, most of them come from external environment, to understand how one thing may have led to another and may have affected your brain, which henceforth has brought this disorder, anxiety disorder, phobias. Those are disorders. So also, just to also touch on it, you also have to work with a mantra. I feel having a mantra in situations that you feel that you are weak is a very good thing. Like if you know that you fear something, you just wake up and say, what, Esther, today we are not going to fear. We're going to get into that elevator and you are tuning your mind. You are trying to change your perception. And one thing I say with mind is, what you want your mind to process, it can process. Because I believe the one moment you'll go into that elevator and don't have the sweaty hands, nerves, you'll be so proud of you, and you'll have changed so much in your brain. You'll have healed so much in your brain. So you have to have that mantra of, I don't have to fear today. If you find a situation where you're shaking, you're like, what, I do not have to fear. Also, maybe looking at the people who are Christians, you can have a Bible verse that goes into conjunction with your fear. Like, do not fear, for I am with you. So you can imagine that you're in that room with somebody else who is God. You see, yeah, it works. In that room, you're not alone. There is somebody else in you in that room. There's somebody else in that elevator. You're not in an enclosed space alone, and that can also help you. That is something else that is good, and you can develop it in your life. In every sector of your life, you're like, I can do this. Mantras really help. You also can get to engage yourself in platforms that you get insight about anxieties, the type of anxiety that you have. Do not be ashamed of the anxiety. Do you know why? Because I usually say that your fear is not you. Your fear does not define you. Your fear is part of you, and a part of you that you can change. You see, you are bigger than your fear, because your whole life has so many things. It's not just your fear. You fear enclosed places. You're so smart, you know, in skydiving. You're so smart probably in swimming. So that fear does not define your whole life. So do not be ashamed of it. Do not be ashamed to talk about it. Do not be ashamed to know that you can rise above it, and you don't have to have it. Yeah. So guys, today I just want to encourage somebody out there having a fear that is really frustrating her life. Don't let that fear define you. It is not all that you have. It is not you. It is just a part of you that you can change. Yeah, fears are things that change. You see, when you fear something and you get to exposed to it, you familiarize, so that fear changes. If you used to fear kama paka, and probably you get to have a paka in your house, you'll fear 1 week, second week, the third week you're used to you sitting here, it sitting there. The next time you are used to you sitting here, the cat sitting next to you. The next time you are used to cat passing over your legs. You know, you get familiar, and you get familiar, you start overcoming the fear. You know, so fear mostly comes with unfamiliarity of something. Yeah, it's not in you, it's part of you. Yeah, part of you that you can change with the right treatment if it's chronic, and part of you that you can change with the right information. Yeah, in the right way to do it. So guys, so that was basically about anxiety. Yeah, I've just generalized it, you know, that we have so much into anxiety, but we shall unpack slowly together, no, with no rush. We are here. So guys, comment down below, tell me which is that one fear that you're fighting. That is that one fear that keeps on nagging you. And you know, let's hear the things that you've tried to do, the things that you've not tried to do. Yeah, and you can reach me into my email. I'll put it's down there. Yeah, you can text me, we can converse. And guys, support me. Yeah, share this video, like, subscribe, and let's make the best out of the information that is out here, because I believe everyone is an expert in something. You're an expert in being a medic, so I'm an expert in being a psychologist. Yeah, so we get to help each other. All these things intertwine. We are here. God put us here for each other. So guys, till next time, bye bye.